Well, good day, everyone, and welcome to the next in our series of chats with local business owners in the Southwest. And today I'm incredibly honoured to have Hayley Smith, owner of Myriad Business Solutions, with us. Good afternoon, Hayley. How are you this afternoon?
I'm fine, thank you, Duncan. Thank you for inviting me today.
It's an absolute pleasure, and thank you so much for taking your time to come and chat about your business. And I think without any further ado, let's get right down to it. Hayley, tell me a bit about Myriad Business Solutions. What is the name? What is it?
Myriad Business Services is
my apologies.
is a small business consult. I'm a small business consultant and a superstar virtual assistant. I know it sounds a bit weird to be going, oh my God, she's calling herself a superstar. That is what other people call me, and I've taken it on, and I've said, you know what, I need to say it more. It boosts my own confidence. Which makes me even happier that my clients are happy, and it shows everybody else that my clients are happy as well. So it shows confidence in my ability, which is always good. And what that basically means is I help various small businesses, from your teeny tiny little person who's working at home, in their spare room, with whatever business they're doing, they're making things, or they've got a service they want to offer, all the way up to somebody who's maybe been in business a couple of years and they just need a little bit of help with that growth. So it could be helping with their business plan if they haven't already got those plans in place and knowing where their next step is, or their targets. A lot of people just work heading towards, I want to make this much money and that's it. But actually it's better to set yourself some little targets about, I want this many sales. I know I need to make this many to be comfortable each month, but my ultimate target is this one. And it's working in stages like that. And many businesses don't have those sorts of things in place. So I come in and I just help organize things a bit and give them those nice little goals to have to reach, those little achievements that you can say, yes, I've reached phase one. You know, I'm the end of phase one, now on to phase two. And then they know their steps they've got to take next. So I help with implementing those things. And that's where the virtual assistant comes in, because I'm very hands-on. So I don't just coach them, I talk to them through things and I say, right, okay, what's next? Do you know how to do this? If you don't, would you like me to teach you? Or would you like us to work together on this project and hold your hand through it? And then maybe that's a new skill you can learn as we go along. So I'm very hands-on with all my clients, and that's, I think, what they love the most. I'm not just sort of speaking jargon at them. I'm very much making sure they're understanding what I'm saying and being very down to earth with it. And that's it. So yeah, I do multiple admin tasks for them, whether it's lead generation, they need me to reply to loads of people on LinkedIn for them, or set up appointments through a link, or even sort of scraping the internet, data scraping for, I don't know, doctor's surgeries in Devon. I want all their contact details and their addresses. Yeah, okay, I'll go and find all those and stick them in a lovely spreadsheet for you. So it can literally be anything.
Oh wow! That seems. And you said from a one-man band sitting in the spare room or at the kitchen table to big company. Is there an industry specific that you zoom in on, or is it doesn't matter what industry? Doesn't matter you retail, wholesale?
So there's no specific industry who I work with. I do tend to see a lot. Out of a trend, I see more people who are offering services rather than products. Whether that's just an economic trend at the moment, but it very, you know, maybe in this area that might be an economic trend that's starting to emerge. So there's a lot of people I know who are offering more of a service rather than a product. So literally, I work with anybody who needs that help. I do work with various different sectors, whether it's in commercial and industrial plumbing and heating, all the way to a run coach, or even a zero waste shop. So it could be anything. And that's all, you know, I'm very diverse. I've had my hand in a lot of different industries in the past, and I'm always researching and looking into different industries as well. So for me, I love the diversity of it. Keeps me energized.
Oh, well, I think, you can just see that. I mean, your energy and positiveness is infectious. So it's wonderful. People get in touch with Hayley. Now, on that, we were talking about businesses that have already been established. How about if I say wanted to start a business, if I had an idea, would you be able to help me do something with that?
I would, yes. So I have actually created something really cost effective for people wanting to start their own business, but without having to invest heavily in the training. So I've created over lockdown, I adapted my business and brought my plans forward, which is exactly what you're meant to do. You're meant to adapt. If you don't adapt, you don't survive. So I adapted and I created an online business course. It's about 30 hours it'll take you to complete, and it's only £90. And literally, it takes you through each module and teaches you how to build your business plan, the different types of business structures there are, a little bit on VAT and finance, GDPR, COVID-19 health and safety, along with the basic health and safety regulations that you need to know, and even marketing. So you come out at the end of this course with a marketing plan, a sales strategy, and your business plan complete, which means that if you need to go and get finance, you know roughly what questions they're going to ask. You'll have the answers there ready and for you. If you need to bring in a marketing company, you'll already have your target audience defined in that business plan.
Oh, that is such incredible. It's something that, you know, we've all started our own businesses. So people out there, if you're considering it, get in touch with Hayley, because that is absolutely invaluable advice there. And you know what? At £90, that's £3 an hour, for goodness sake. That's less than a pint.
It is. I was very conscious that I love working with small businesses. And I think the way forward, with the way the markets are going now, with loads of chains closing down and loads of job losses, that there is an emerging market in people wanting to start their own businesses, or even start their own side businesses alongside their job in case they have a drop, or if they get made redundant or anything like that. And I really wanted to make sure it was affordable for everybody, that even if they decided after doing the course, do you know what, this isn't for me, I don't like this, I'm going to take a different turn. It's 90 quid. It's not a huge investment lost. So it's there to teach them what they need to know and go at the end of it, am I ready for this step?
Oh, and that's brilliant. And I'll say again, people, get in touch with Hayley. If you think you're starting a business, you've just started a business, or you have a business, please do. That's absolutely incredible advice. Now, it wouldn't be fair at this time and age in the middle of July 2020 to have a chat with a business owner and not mention COVID-19. How has that, it must have impacted, so how has that impacted on your business?
So to be plainly honest, at the beginning of lockdown, I was working on a lot of event-based products with companies, and obviously that was one of the first things to be dropped. So my income, my clients, I literally dropped to zero. Everybody paused everything. And for about the first 5-6 weeks, I had zero income coming in. No help from the government, nothing. So as I mentioned earlier, I adapted. I used that time to bring forward my plan for creating this course, which I was always going to create, but I wasn't going to do it till January next year. I brought that forward and I did it over lockdown. I literally spent every day working on it, making sure it was right, making sure it was how I wanted it. I had a couple of people testing it for me who basically turned around and said, Hayley, that is far too cheap. And I said, no, that's the way I want it for now. And it was what I did. And I went out there and I networked as well. I found every networking group I could online and I threw myself into it. 4 or 5 times a day, I was on a networking call and everybody saw me, and it paid off because halfway through lockdown, everything picked up. Now, I think that was partly to do with the economic shock wearing off. People were easing back in, going, do you know what? I do need to keep up my PR. I do need to keep doing what I'm doing with my business. And I think at first people didn't realize that. And I preached it all the way through and said, stay doing what you're doing, stay visible. And even if we go into another lockdown, again, stay as visible as possible. There is no crass in selling during a crisis. If you're hiking prices up, then yes, you are. But if you're just working as normal, keep going. You need to be visible, because then when we come out of this, people will remember your name. And that's what I did. So coming out of lockdown, everybody knew my name, everybody knew. And they all turned around and started referring me on to other people. And that is how networking works. You've got to put in the time and the effort.
I think that, I don't think we could stress that enough. And I don't think it's just applicable to COVID. It's when anything happens, what you did was there was a massive change in everybody's life. And you actually have two choices when that happens, don't you? You can ignore it, put your head in the sand, or you can change with it. You can say, "Whoa, how do I have to adapt?" And that's exactly what you did.
And it's what the sign above me is there to remind me: take the risk or lose the chance. And that has
I
been
love that.
a great motto for me all the way through. Since my best friend gave me that back at Christmas. She knew I was partway into my business. She gave me that, and it's kept me going. So it has been my main motto.
Oh, brilliant! So if you could take one lesson out of this COVID-19 experience of yours, I mean, you've done brilliantly and how you changed it. I mean, it's incredible how you've adapted. But if you could take one lesson to share with all of us and all your customers and potential customers out there, what would it be?
It would probably be make sure you make your time for yourself. So I was so wrapped up to start with getting my business out there, bringing forward my plan, as well as homeschooling and everything else that was going on, that I did spend a lot of nights up late working on the course, getting it done, because I was spending more time during the day with my 9-year-old son, trying to make sure he was homeschooled with his lessons, because he was having some live lessons but needed help with the technology just to learn around it. And so I did spend a lot of late nights sat here with a glass of wine, cracking on through. And it did take its toll for a little while. Until then, I learned to sort of take it easy on myself and say, I am not Wonder Woman. Things have got to change. So my husband helped me kick me out of my office of an evening. Said, you watch TV in the other room. I'm in here tonight. I wasn't so hard on myself if my son wasn't doing those lessons that were not live lessons. I didn't sit there and make him do the projects they'd all set. I said, no, we'll do that later when you've got a bit more free time. And I learned to take an afternoon off every now and then as well. So, it did teach me a lot about a good work-life balance, which I had beforehand when the schools were in, but unfortunately that had to change pretty quick. So I would say, make it priority. Don't fret over it. Just, especially if you're getting quite stressed about it, take a step back, take a morning off, an afternoon off, a day off if you need it. Don't be afraid to take that time off, regather your thoughts, and just chill and then go back to it later.
I think that's wonderful advice. I really do. And I don't, it doesn't help that you work yourself into the ground and you've got to think of your health. You can't keep on going. So very, very good advice. Now, people, there's one thing that we do need to talk about is this wonderful nomination. I've seen it on LinkedIn. We've had a chat about it. Well, go on, tell us all about it, Hayley.
Yes, so a couple of weeks ago, at the beginning of July, I was nominated for an award with the 373 group for Best Sole Trader and Microbusiness. And then I was shortlisted. I thought, wow, I didn't even know I was nominated. Then I got shortlisted. I thought, oh, wow, it was just an honor, really. 10 months into my business, I've been shortlisted for an award. I thought it was amazing. And I knew a couple of people going to the main event on the evening, which is very small. So I thought, I'll go along. It'll be nice just to see some other people. And on the night I got awarded, highly commended. I was absolutely speechless.
Well done. Now, what was this? Tell me something. It said something about what was the award for?
It was for Best Sole Trader in Microbusiness.
Absolutely incredible. Now, for someone who did that within 10 months of starting the business, it's a no-brainer, folks. She knows what she's talking about. Get in touch with Hayley. Absolutely. If there's one thing you could say to your, we've spoken about the offer, we've spoken about, and I think that is invaluable, the training offer for £90. Is there anything else that you'd like to say to prospective customers out there? Is maybe another offer?
Well, not necessarily another offer, but I just want to show the importance of outsourcing. Yes, you might be able to do it all yourself, but most people love what they do for a reason. They do that job for a reason. And you're not meant to do every single thing by yourself, account manager, marketing manager, finance director, everything else. And I just want to say, don't be afraid to find somebody to outsource with. Go and find the person that resonates with your personality, your brand, and your business well, and find somebody who understands it and can work with you. Freelancing is a great option for people. Outsourcing is a great option because then you're not locked into a contract with them. If you have a sudden downturn, you can say, can we scale it back this month? And if you need that extra help on one big project, they know so many people that as soon as you say, oh, I'm looking for a software developer, but you know, you don't do that, do you? No, but I do know somebody who is great, who I've worked with in the past. They have a wealth of contacts. Use them. Use that contact.
And it's also incredible advice is don't be scared to ask for help.
No, and that is exactly it. Don't be afraid to ask for help, because if you look at all the big CEOs and everything like that, what do? They have PAs. They have people who they delegate to take their minds off those smaller tasks so they can concentrate on the larger tasks at hand.
Very, very true. One of the last questions I want to ask you is, for everybody that's watching this and listening, are you restricted to a geographical area where you help people in? I know we're talking to people in the Southwest, but the Southwest is pretty big. Are you restricted, or would you help? Does it not matter where anybody comes from?
No, it has no impact at all. So I'm here in lovely South Devon in Bovey Tracy, but I have clients in Southampton, Isle of Wight, in Nottingham. I have clients all over. So it really doesn't matter, because Zoom and things like that is a great way of being able to speak to people, see body language, so you can still get that good conversation from each other without the face-to-face. But even if somebody does want a face-to-face, for some things, that's always a good idea. So when I've done events in the past, we have face-to-face, we walk around potential sites and things like that. That's not a problem. I'm no stranger to driving, that's for sure. So being from South Devon, you know, we had to drive to get everywhere. So I used to be up and down the country on a very regular basis before. So no geographical restriction. And I'm happy to work with anybody. If anybody resonates with the way I do business, which is a very relaxed, calm, talkative way, you know, I don't lock people in with contracts because I don't feel that's the right way. I don't compete with other business consultants. I feel we should be collaborating. And I feel that of all business, that is the way I see business. And it's the way we should all be doing it, is helping each other to push each other up.
That is so true. I mean, what's the point of doing it if you can't have fun? None of us started a business to say, all right, I'm going to work myself into the ground every hour that God gives me so that I'm never with my family and I'll earn a rubbish salary. We didn't go into business to do that.
No, not at all.
Right, last question. And it's, what is the one thing that, and the reason why I hesitate, because we are moving out of lockdown, but what is the one thing that you missed the most and were most looking forward to do once the lockdown restrictions are removed?
Well, I don't know. Since lockdown restrictions have lifted a little bit, I have been to the pub. I have had dinner out. So, you know, we've gotten that little bit of extra socialization, which has been lovely. I must admit, very relaxing to get out the house. Next week, I'm actually going to Plymouth for a week. Even though it's half an hour away from my house, we're going to stay in the centre of Plymouth for a week in an Airbnb. And we're going to see some of the sites in that area a bit more. And do some more of the history stuff. So I think it would just be nice to be able to travel a bit further, go on a little UK staycation somewhere else, and go back to networking. Face-to-face networking would be great.
I think it would be. No, that's super. I think it's what we're all missing, is it not? It's that we're social beings, aren't we?
We are indeed. And when you've got a child who is living on video games, you really need to get away and get out somehow.
Yeah, absolutely. Hayley, that has been super chatting to you. It really has been. Is there anything else that you would like to say or to point out? Your contact details are all spread as part of the interview, as we said. So anything else you want to tell people out there? Just feel free to find me on LinkedIn and connect with me. I'm always happy to chat and give advice.
I post a lot of articles from HubSpot and Google and Social Media Today blogs, all on my Facebook pages and my LinkedIn, to give people advice on the different technologies out there, what trends are coming, things like that. So I share a lot of news that's out there now for you to find. So feel free just to follow along and ask me any questions. I'm happy to give any free advice there can be. That's not a problem.
Wonderful stuff. Thanks very much. And people, get in touch with Hayley. And once again, congratulations on being nominated and highly commended. Very well done, Hayley. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.